my name's Johnny Rose. I'm one of the founders of Croydon Tech City, and this evening I am with Lord Wei of Shoreditch. So what would be really helpful is just to get started, if you could just sort of encapsulate in short what you spoke about this evening.
Yeah. So tonight I effectively was talking about Techlash and this whole issue of, whilst technology is doing a number of fantastic things in the world, there's a risk that some people might get left behind from the tech revolution, particularly as it starts to, through automation, robotics, actually affect entire industries and change the dynamics of those industries. So I talked a bit about, what can we do at the policy level to address this issue? What can we do as entrepreneurs, particularly around how do we develop our businesses, and how do we encourage wider share ownership in our businesses eventually, and try and actually make the businesses and the things that we do accessible to people, so that more people can kind of be part of the tech revolution. And finally, I introduced a concept called Make a Wharf, which is something we're developing at the moment in Shoreditch, but could come to places like Croydon as well.
Could you talk a bit more about, first of all, your sort of maker thesis, which you posed today, about that sort of contention between software and the tangible aspect of tech, and where you see the benefits towards making, and if you could talk a bit more about Make a Wharf and what it's all about.
Yeah, sure. Well, I think we've had the first wave so far of the tech revolution, the pure digital stuff, which is fantastic. But I think there's even more opportunity with the second wave as the internet starts to invade the physical world through the Internet of Things and making generally. And the beauty of that is, when the robot breaks down in the street, someone physically has to go and pick it up and fix it. When the 3D printer needs to have its print head replaced, that's a physical, local job. You can't really offshore some of those jobs. So I think we've got an opportunity for the making revolution to create a lot of jobs locally in a lot of places, in places all around the country, including Croydon. And what we're trying to do at Make a Wharf is try and connect and think about what those jobs are going to be, and help the people who are creating those jobs to tap into the global economy on one hand, and on the other hand connect them with local apprentices and local people who I think would really value tapping into those kind of future blue collar and other jobs around kind of different making kind of skill sets.
Fantastic. And so another thing, you're very interested in future cities, and Shoreditch is on your doorstep, so I was wondering, based on what you've seen here tonight, if you'd be able to just give some counsel on what you've seen and what you think where Croydon Tech City could go next, and just your thoughts.
Yeah, well, I think it's fantastic that we're seeing the emergence of tech clusters all over the country, all over the world, and I simply say each place has its own unique culture, its own unique strengths, and I think if you can leverage those and create something special, then that's wonderful. Obviously everybody looks to Silicon Valley, and increasingly perhaps people look to Shoreditch, but we don't necessarily have to copy each other per se. I think it's better to combine your local strengths and technology, particularly with the Internet of Things. It creates new boundaries. And I think one thing I'd say about the UK as well is that we have many cultures here from all over the world, even more so perhaps than many other parts of the world, and we have a great time zone. So why not think about UK tech clusters as launch pads into the non-English world, because the non-English internet is bigger and will remain bigger than the English one. And the UK is a perfect place to launch that kind of global startup.
Absolutely. Well, Nat, thank you so much for your time today.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.